A long time ago in a galaxy far, far, oh, wait, it wasn't that long ago. And actually, it was right here in our very own galaxy.
It was actually in Japan earlier this month.
Yeah.
The 2025 Star Wars celebration was being held, and only 20 artists from around the world were selected to display and sell their works chosen by Lucasfilm.
And one of those artists was representing us here on Delmarva. You probably recognize Bradley Hudson, the professor at UMES and the acting chair and board president of the Salisbury Art Space. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Got a celebration to talk about. We want to talk about that. But first, can I ask you, what drew you into Star Wars?
I was a kid, so when the originals came out, I was a little kid, and it just enamored me.
Yeah.
And I teased my mom because the first one in '77, she wouldn't let me go to the movies to see it because she said it was too violent. And so,
Really?
So I've teased her ever since then. But she's come to the fact that it wasn't that violent.
So you were selected to attend the celebration. What was that like?
It's really cool. I got in '17, and they have it every 2 years, and I've been trying to get in since I got in the first time. And so it was in Japan, and I was like, I'll submit something and see what happens. And it's just a crapshoot. You don't know if you're going to get in. It's so competitive. There's so many artists that can submit things, and they're all professional artists that have worked under the license in some fashion or some way. And so I never have gotten to the point where I don't expect to get in. In fact, I kind of plan on not getting in. And so they didn't let us know until like the end of November or early December. And I got an email that said, "Oh, you're in." It's like, oh. And so, it possibly the furthest point away from us that it could get. I don't know if there could be any further distance. So I got in, and I'm like, I guess I'll do it. And I called my wife, and I said, I got in. And she was like, oh, wow. So I was like, yeah. So I started making plans then. You had to rush. All the hotels around the convention center had been booked up for months. So I got a hotel in Tokyo, and closer towards Disney in Tokyo. And so
Still worth the trip.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
So let me, as an artist, do you get together with the other artists and talk business, talk technique?
Oh yeah, we do. We don't talk technique. We just kind of goof around and chat a lot. There's a Discord that we had that going into it where we talked a lot and chatted as a group, and that was super fun. And you got to all complain about the same things, whatever was going on at the time in the planning stages. And so it's super fun, and you really get to know the other artist, and that's the coolest thing for me, is getting to know the other artist and meeting the people at the convention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, well, congratulations on that.
Yeah,
Glad
thank you
got
very
to go.
much.
And shift gears a little bit to the Salisbury Art Space.
Yeah, Salisbury Art Space, one of the oldest art nonprofits in the state. I've been president of the board for a couple of years, and so we've got a bunch of stuff coming up this summer, and so I wanted to promote, we're doing a karaoke fundraiser on the 13th from 6 to 9, June 13th from 6 to 9, so it should be super fun.
Would you consider this a unique kind of space?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
It's absolutely. So for us on the Eastern Shore, you have very few outlets for aspiring artists, growing artists that are trying to get their work seen. There's very few places that you can get your work in and get it shown and get it possibly sold. I'm a native of the Eastern Shore, and so it used to be the Art Institute and Gallery, and they changed the name. So it's the same entity, it's just changed the name. And so for me, the Art Institute and Gallery was the only place in the area that exhibited artwork, and that local artists could submit their work and get it seen. And so since I've been the president of the board, that's been my main focus, is I wanted to make sure that it's a venue for anybody to show their work, for people to grow, for people to learn. You know, we're not here trying to be a fancy New York gallery.
Right.
We're here to highlight and showcase local artists.
And that's important.
It really is,
Yeah.
really is, because like I said, there's no other venue like that on the Eastern Shore.
Well, thank you for coming in
Yes.
and talking all things art. I know that you'll be back with your latest and greatest project, and we
Yeah.
look forward to that.
I'll always come back. Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Thank
Always
you,
a
Bradley.
pleasure.